Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Braden, Tim, Second Legacy. You are amazing. And guys, there is something happening under the surface. We've been telling you about it for a while, but now the Wall Street Journal has come out and said it. Many others have said it, but now they're saying it. It turns out, guys, liberals and Democrats are buying guns at unprecedented levels. I know. Steel yourselves for this episode because it's so tragic. Everything we're about to talk about is coming from the Wall Street Journal and has been referenced a lot of other times and on this channel prior. But it turns out that every American, no matter what your political affiliation, you kind of like freedom and self-protection. It's really weird. We're going to hit everything right now. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you are enjoying this content delivered with sarcasm and humor, delivered in a pristine fashion for the 2A. And with that said, Tim, most surprising, the gun owners are now Democrats and liberals. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, but that's going to happen when you have so many years of far left rule where crime is out of control. Of course, they're going to tell you the crime rate is actually surprisingly down. That was an immediate.
It's gone.
Yeah, it just several weeks before the election, suddenly crime had rectified itself and it's been fixed along with the immigration problem across the southern border. But in reality, folks, what they won't tell you is, the numbers apparently show that crime is down drastically, but so is the reporting to the FBI. About 40% of the jurisdictions no longer report. So the perception in polls is that crime is wildly up. And why is that? Well, because violence within our cities and, various areas of the country, it's up. And so, so the left, who is causing much of this crime in our major cities, has now decided, well, maybe we should fend for ourselves and arm ourselves. And this is kind of a byproduct, I think, of their leftist policies. They're driving their own leftist people to arm themselves because they're allowing such rampant crime to occur everywhere in the country. Yeah.
It's weird because, we were told, I'm pretty sure, Tim, I've only heard this about, a gabajillion times, that if you buy a gun or you prescribe to the toxic gun culture, you're really just promulgating violence and you're letting the gun lobby rule Washington, D.C. with dark money. I'm pretty sure those are some of the things we've said, right?
Yes.
I think so. Okay.
Because real men don't need a gun. They use their hands and feet, or swords, boots of fleeing, and necromancer spells. That's what real men use with purple hair. Purple hair is
but only the good ones are the necromancers. Only the good ones. So just make sure you don't do that on the willy-nilly. All right, so
and there's a lot of glitter used in those spells, and I'm making fun of a meme that's actually really funny. But anyway,
no, it's pretty good. No, I appreciate it, and actually, it's got to be original, 100% organic unicorn poop for the glitter. Better get that part right too. So here it is, Tim. Number 11. The most surprising new gun owners are U.S. liberals. Subtitle. It's even worse. After decades of decline, gun ownership is rising among Democrats. But the virtue signal, what are we going to do? No.
Yep. I know. And why would they even report on this after decades of decline? Gun ownership. Are they trying to shame Democrats into stop owning guns? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know what's going on. It's bizarre. But let's dive into this because we've got some stuff to talk about. We've even got pretty little graphs. And I think you can correlate some of the other things we've covered here. So let's get into the first one. This is number 12. I'm not even going to pretend to try to understand how you say this guy's last name. So we're going to just stab. It's going to be different every time I'm going to stab at it. Michael Siemiatkowski, a lifelong Democrat, supports stricter gun laws and contributes to Sandy Hook Promise, a gun violence prevention nonprofit. But this summer, the liquor store clerk in Iowa City, Iowa, for the first time in his life, bought a gun. Apprehension about street crime, armed right-wing extremists, and whatever the world could possibly throw at us drove his decision. Domestic politics have grown increasingly acrimonious, says Siemiatkowski.
Yeah, he's worried about right-wing extremists that literally do nothing, and he's worried about domestic politics have grown increasingly acrimonious. So I'm going to go out and buy a gun and point it at armed right-wing extremists.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's weird. It's almost like people feel the temperature and the crime that's happening on an interpersonal level, and the propaganda put forth by the Biden administration turns out to be propaganda, and they're taking their own decisions and purchasing firearms, even liberal. Guys, do you understand? Lifelong Democrats support stricter gun laws and contributes to Sandy Hook Promise. Sandy Hook Promise is like that's not in the middle gun control. That's like far left, ban assault weapons, ban mag bans. I mean, you're out there. All of a sudden, bought a gun. That's weird.
Yeah.
Let's continue. Maybe there's something else, because it wouldn't be really fun if we didn't introduce race into this conversation, right, Tim?
Oh, you got to have that. Yes, definitely.
You got to. And sexuality is coming later too.
Oh, I was going to say, you got to have sexuality, you got to have race. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is abortion in here? I mean, you got to have all the hot button issues. No,
it didn't make it. That one didn't make it in. This is the Wall Street Journal, after all.
Very remiss on their part. Okay, let's go.
They missed an opportunity. Make sure you have your bucket for white privilege. Everyone watching, make sure your buckets are ready. Here we go. American gun culture has long been dominated by conservative white men. Now, in a marked change, a burgeoning number of liberals are buying firearms, according to surveys and fast-growing gun groups, drawing minorities and progressives. Quote, "It's a group of people who 5 years ago would have never even considered buying a gun," says Jennifer Hubert, an anthropology professor at Lewis and Clark College in Portland, Oregon, who has researched liberal gun owners. What do you think that she started that thesis and go, this will be a short topic?
Dude. And this goes to my point. The policies of the left, out of the last 16 years, they've had 12 years where they've been in power.
12 of them. Yep.
And it's these liberal policies that are causing crime, the perception of violence, the fear within our population. This is all a direct result of the leftist politics. And here they're saying those politics are driving their own people to break with historical norms and go arm themselves.
Correct. You are absolutely correct. Their own policies, of which they vehemently support, are undermining the policies which they vehemently support.
And I guarantee you, half or more of the people that are buying the guns don't even realize that it's the leftist policies that are driving them to buy guns.
Correct. But you know what? It's a beautiful circle. Fund the gun lobby. I look forward to the dark pool in the evil gun owners. All right, here we go. This is where kind of what you just said, wrapping up the same point of 13. Historically, it wasn't unusual for Democrats to own guns, with many more of them living in rural areas. Also, hunting was much more popular. But starting in the early 90s, gun ownership among Democrats dropped significantly. Increasingly divisive political battles over the role of firearms in American society led the Democratic Party to become an advocate for gun regulation. Republicans became the party of gun rights. Now, today's Democrats are rediscovering guns. No, they are not. This is so important. They are rediscovering the options to remedy themselves of the liberal policies of which they supported. That's what's happening. Guns are just a natural solution.
Right.
God, dude. I feel so good and so happy about my vote for the left, but because of the policies that I felt so good and so happy for, now I have to abandon those policies and split and arm myself.
Yeah.
Guys, it never ends.
Because of all the drugs and criminals pouring over our borders, and nobody's getting arrested for violent crime anymore. They're all just turned loose on the street. You know, we're doing crime reform and all this other stuff that they're always talking about, and taking guns away from police and sending in on unarmed park rangers, all these crazy proposals. And it's all culminated in leftists racing out to buy guns because it's all falling apart. Crazy.
It's very, very
it's almost
odd
like we predicted it. Yeah.
It is. It's almost like we predicted it. And also people are voting with their dollars. Once again, the free market is beating the liberal rhetoric from the gun-controlling Democrats. I bet you they are so pissed at gun control groups.
And here's one other thing I want to throw out there for people to chew on. So I guarantee you when a pollster calls one of these brand new liberal gun owners, they're not going to be honest with that pollster when they are asked questions if they own guns. Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. No, dude, you are so over the target. Absolutely.
It's almost like I've been doing this for a while. All right, let's see what
it is. It's almost like you know the opponents. No, dude, you're absolutely correct. Okay, so first, let's get the graphs. They were promised, they are being delivered. This is number 14. All right. So I'm going to read a little bit of this and listen to the percentage increases, because this is where you can really see the level and depth of penetration of this, okay? 29% of Democrats, or those leaning Democrats, said they had a gun at a home in 2022, up from a 4-decade low of 22% in 2010. So in 12 years, they've gone up 7%. That is a massive jump. Massive jump, guys. All right, so let's continue. That's according to a long-running survey, University of Chicago, doesn't matter. In 2022, 55% of Republicans had a gun in their home, up 3 percentage points. The same survey, 3,500 adults. So Republicans went up 3%, which is not a big surprise. Democrats went up 7%. That is more than double the adoption from Democrats than Republicans. That is, God, it's so loud, dude. And you can even see on that graph right there, the Democrats are spiking up, almost overcoming independents.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah.
That's a thing. But now, to the taboo. Are you ready for the taboo? Because the taboo is here.
All right.
This is number 15, Tim. This is a hidden pursuit. All right, that's what it's actually titled. A hidden pursuit. With guns still taboo among many on the left, some new liberal firearm owners say they don't tell their friends or even relatives. And they say they won't and don't want to join or feel unwelcomed in gun stalwarts such as the NRA or online message boards like AR15.com. Give me a second, just so I know you've got a good one on that. Hold on. Quote, "We have to have harbors and havens," said Randy Mian, who runs Liberal Gun Owners, a 5,000-member group. Okay,
so there they are segregating themselves.
Exactly. Okay. AR15.com. They're going to ARFCOM, huh? That's what they think they're going to do?
Awesome. You know you've achieved a certain level of greatness in the world when you become the tissue, the Kleenex of firearms discussion forums. That's so funny to see that domain in this article. That's funny. Go ARFCOM. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. No, they probably wouldn't be welcome on our organization. Have you been on the general discussion forum at ARFCOM? If you showed up in there and said you were a leftist and voting for Harris and posted a picture of your new gun, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, that's the place you'd go. You wouldn't tip your toe in anything like neutral. No. You're gonna go straight into ARFCOM on the internet. That's a good idea. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea at all. Well, here's some more evidence of this open acceptance, which is a great benefit of the left, Tim. The left and the gun controllers, they are so open and adoring and accepting of all walks of life, unless, of course, you disagree with them or are different. But other than that, it's not. They're very open. Well, Alejandra Menendez, 32, has a good example of this. She said she decided to take gun classes with one of the progressive trainers in 2019 after moving to a new neighborhood. That means crime influence. Menendez, who is married to a woman, there's the sexuality, Tim, worries about anti-gay violence and crime in general. She said she had an initial trepidation about visiting gun ranges dominated mostly by older white men.
You can't be around white guys, people.
No. But Tim,
it's extremely dangerous to be around white people.
That's true. But in this case, this is verboten, but found most people there welcoming. Oh my God, the white people?
No.
Oh,
no.
God.
Now that's propaganda. There's no way a white person was nice to somebody that was gay or
oh my God,
had a last name like Mendez.
Gun range, nonetheless.
At a gun range.
Oh,
that's insanity. Everybody knows they're a bunch of racist, misogynistic,
toxic humans. Yeah, with their buckets of white privilege.
Why would they put that lie in there? Found them to be welcoming. So untrue.
Goodness gracious. We're going to get past that, but we're going to hold it against them. All right. Today, Mendez, a healthcare worker, owns 4 guns, 3 handguns, and an AR-15, and completed training for a concealed carry permit. Oh, my God. She took
Mendez
the
is a
poison
racist
pill.
white man now.
Oh, my God. I don't even think she can identify as a gay woman anymore. I think she just became a white guy.
Yep, she's a racist white guy. Yep.
You hate to see it, but I tell you what, though, if that doesn't speak to the addictive nature of our gun culture, oh my God. I started in 2019 with a handgun, and I didn't tell any family or friends, but now I own 3 and an AR. Yeah. Well, okay. Good adoption. And now, most criticism, she said, comes from some progressives asking why she would ever own a gun. She finds it hypocritical that those critics assert their constitutional right to free speech, but reject the constitutional right to own firearms. Red pill!
Yep, somebody got red pilled. Somebody woke up from the slumber. It's like, these people are lying to me.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's a beautiful thing to see. And hey, you remember that guy in the earlier part of this episode that I couldn't say his last name? Remember that guy, like Seamanowski or
he's back.
Yeah, he's back. Listen to
Mr.
what he does. He has a
Constance.
strategy. Yeah. He has a strategy to avoid the toxic white people at the gun range. Yeah,
what's that?
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Listen to it.
Wear whiteface?
So same guy. No. He's got one of those naturally. Anyway, so this guy said he mostly talks about guns with other liberals or progressive gun owners, many of whom welcome gun restrictions. He doesn't see a reason to own a military-style semi-automatic rifle like an AR-15 and supports universal background checks. He visits the range to practice with his Springfield 1911, arriving early, he said, before the yahoos show up.
Boomer! He's a boomer.
He is. When you go back and look at the image, he's like 43-year-old white guy in Iowa. Dude, it's so comical. Man. Oh, he's so comical. Before the yahoos show up.
Yeah,
to the gun range.
He wants to insult other gun owners, and he's a 1911 guy. That's awesome. Somehow he fell into a stereotypical role within the gun community that he hates so much.
On accident. He felt
angry white guy with his 1911.
All white guys. Oh my God. It was so great. And he didn't even do like a Colt. He went with a Springfield. So he went general mass production.
But it's still a 1911, which is a weapon of war.
It is.
Anyway.
You're right. You're right, Tim. Now, see, imagine if he had gone with like a Nighthawk or something. Then he would have had class. But
still a weapon of war.
It's still a weapon of war. You're right. But take us out. You're right.
We win. All right. Thanks for watching Second Legacy. We'll talk to you guys soon.